Hello friends, my name is Satyam Gupta and friends, if you remember last class we have covered destructive testing, tensile testing, but this time I am coming with the topic bend testing. So friends, before starting the technical topic, I just go with my favorite soft skill topic. So first we will review what we discussed earlier in soft skills. So in soft skill, first we read about the principles, that is the culture oriented principle. So we have learned everyday learning, respect every individual, lead with humility, behavior, anger management. Then in second segment we have covered continuous improvement segment. In continuous improvement segment we have covered seek perfection, embrace scientific thinking, focus on process, assure quality at source, flow and pull process. And last we have discussed about enterprise alignment. In enterprise alignment we have covered create constancy of purpose, and everyone combined it will reflect into result. So friends, all these principles or principles element we have discussed in our previous lecture. So for looking this lectures you need to refer my previous lecture, so you can get everything. Okay, so in my last class friends, we have covered one more topic, that is the part of time management principle, and first segment we have covered create to-do list. So friends, in time management principle I want to say only one thing. If you remember our college days, or if you remember our school days, so time management start from then only. Like in very first class, when you are in school days, at that time in your school every class timing is fixed, like in which time your English class, in which time your math class, in which class in which time your social science class. So everything is fixed, and you can imagine, like we start time management from then only. But nowadays when we are in corporate world, we are forgetting everything. We have lots of tasks, but we don't know how to prioritize this, and in which time we need to complete which task. So time management basically tells us the basically your time between the specific activity, how you need to plan your activity time. So that is basically time management principle. And then one more important thing friends, in technical world, as I told you earlier also, like all the technical things only reflect 30% in your career. 70% is your soft skill. That's why I am emphasize soft skill before the technical topic. So time management friends is very important topic, and you have to listen at least this topic. So today's class I am coming with set a time limit to each task, which is very essential for all of us. So I am just starting set a time limit for each task. In this friends, how we can set the time for each and every task. So I will tell you the sixth way. In sixth way you can learn how we can set our time and we can boost our productivity. So first I will tell you, like keep you committed. Second, keep distraction at bay. Third, avoid multitasking. Fourth, maintain discipline. Fifth, build momentum. Sixth, make breaks meaningful. So friends, first I will start with the keep you committed. So you can think like staying committed to a single task seems difficult, especially when you are in habit of juggling multiple bells at once. Setting a time keep you committed to a single task and does not let you focus and attention dwindle. As a result, you can complete that task much faster. So friends, you need to commit at least for your task what you decided. And I can say in a complete day you have to decide like which task you need to complete. You need to decide your goal also, like which goal you need to complete today. Every day you need to finish some goal. And friends, second is very important, and I can say for the young generation, this is the key point. We are not following this. Keep distractions at the way. I can definitely say you that you are not identify what are your distraction factor. But I am telling you like what are the distraction factor? That is emails. After that, social media. Like in social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, lots of LinkedIn, everything will be disturb your time. You are not focusing your work. Then phone calls, notification, browsing on the web, that all other things, distraction can put you off your target. You not understand this, but this is very important, friends. All these things distract you for achieving your target. These distractions are the biggest productivity killers at the work, putting a huge dent in your productivity. By setting a timer, you can keep all these distractions at bay. As the clock keeps ticking, you are less likely to focus on these distractions and more likely to be lesser focused on the task at hand. So friends, after that I will discuss you about avoid multitasking. So all of us are guilty of multitasking. All of us, including myself also. Whether it is the nature of the work that focus us into multitasking or constant urge of outperforming our peers, the result is the same: lower productivity. Yes, you are read that right. It is the one of the thing you should stop doing if you want to be productive, according to science. So friends, I am telling you one thing. For one time, you have to do one task. Keep starting, say no to anyone, maybe your senior, maybe your management, anyone. If you are performing any job, you or anyone come to you for distracting and saying for another job, you need to say no. First you need to complete your task, then you need to switch in the another task. And friends, fourth one is the maintain discipline. With so many tasks to complete daily, we try to follow the move fast and break thing. This is the basically mantra of Mark Zuckerberg, which might work in some cases but not every cases. One particular downside of this side approach is that you end up creating a lots of mess, and all that mess can hamper your productivity over time. You will have a hard time finding item because of the mess you have created. This will result in wastage of time and you end up missing your daily productivity goal. That is for truth, friends. That is why it is important to instill discipline in your work day, and setting productivity timers are a great way to do that. Task queue timer features help you set a time limit for each task and stay on the track. So friends, next is the fifth one is the build momentum. There are instances where you are unable to give your 100%. This usually happen when you are working on the unappealing or complex task. A timer provides a great way to channelize your energy and get it out in a smaller burst. This help you in building momentum, which would help you in completing complex tasks quickly. Once you hit your stride, you will be able to complete tasks much faster and get more done with fewer resources. The last one is the make breaks meaningful. It means you are exhausted and want some time off, take a break, but make sure you have to set your timer for 15-20 minutes, whatever time permit you, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever time permit you. This prevent sorry, this prevents your break from getting too long. On the other hand, you can use the break time more carefully when you know that you have a handful of minutes of free time to enjoy. As a result, you start a value you every minute, and you will be miser of the spending time with others. That is for sure. So friends, time management is very important factor, and I will definitely encourage you to understand the concept. This will really help you to become a very good in your field. So friends, now time come for technical topic, and I will start with the bend testing. So for the bend testing is one of the method for evaluating ductility, but it cannot be considered as a quantitative means of predicting service performance in bending operation. The severity of the bend test is primarily of the function of the angle of bend and inside diameter to which a specimen is bent, and of the cross section of the specimen. So friends, first we understand the ductility. What ductility states? Ductility basically states the extent to which material can deform without undergo fracture. It means when forces apply, material will start deforming, but it will not fracture, and that the maximum extent is called the ductility. When the material is starting fracture, it means ductility goes down. Then second point friends, useful for manufacturing processes like rolling and extrusion. When we do rolling in the bar, it will convert in some it will create some output, and that output is having you know elongative nature in their behavior, like their component will be make bigger component. You can say like if we want to make the pipes, so pipes, or you can say we need to make the solid pipes. So solid pipes with by which process it will make by the rolling process. It have the larger diameter bar is there, and we need to apply in the rolling machine, and it will create the small diameter pipe having a larger length. Okay, the next one is the indicate ability of the material resist fracture and hence avoid failure. And the last one is the gauge length, as we already discussed in last class also. The formula is EF is equal to LF, like final length minus original length divided by original length. So friends, now we have discussed, now we need to discuss about the purpose of bend test, because people should understand like why we do the bend test. So answer is given in this, like bend testing is a material allow for determination of the material ductility, bend strength, fracture strength, and resistance to the fracture. So friends, these characteristics can be used to determine whether a material will fall under pressure, and are especially important in any construction process involving ductile material loaded with bending force. If the material begin to fracture or completely fracture during 3 or 4 point bend test, it is valid to assume that material will fail under a similar in any application, which may lead to catastrophic failure. And one more important point friends, if you are talking about the weld, in weld testing, in welding basically we perform the bend testing to identify about the failure, like it will failure from which area. It may failure from the weld area, HAZ area, and parent metal area. So you can identify like your welding is defaulty, and due to default welding defect may occur, so you can identify that. So friends, now I am coming with some key point. We have time limitation also. So in the key point, I will explain you three kind of bend test we have. In the figure you need to see, number one is the root bend. In root bend, what you can see, in the bottom side you can see the root. In the bottom side of the plate, you can see the root is in the bottom side and top is in the front side. So this is the mandrel. Mandrel will go down and it will start bending. So you can see in this, root is in the bottom side. So what will happen, you can see like any kind of root is having any kind of discontinuity or any kind of irregularity you can find by this process. In second one, you can see this is the face bend. You can see that face of the weld in the bottom side, and it will comes under tension, and this mandrel will go from the bottom side of the you can say the root side of the plate, and the face side will be in the tension. And the third one is the side weld. In side weld, you can see the complete piece of the weld metal will comes under tension, and you can identify, you can get the complete weld integrity, like from root to top, whatever there you can identify there. Okay, so normally if I am talking about this mandrel, what I discuss you, this mandrel basically, the size of this mandrel is 3 times or 4 times of the thickness as per requirement. Some client is asking for 3 times of the thickness mandrel, some client is asking for 4 times of the mandrel diameter. And one more thing friends, like in bend testing, in some cases we are performing 90-degree bend test, sometimes we are performing 120-degree bend test, sometimes we are performing 180-degree bend test. So now friends, if I am talking about the acceptance criteria of the maximum failure, or you can say the maximum opening what we identify in the weld fracture, that is the 3 mm. So I will cover this point later on when we will discuss the acceptance criteria of ASME section 9. So friends, now I will show you, demonstrate you one video. In that video you can see how weld test will work. So in this video you can see, first you need to measure, then you need to fix the mandrel in the machine. And you can see in this machine, this guy is installing mandrel, everything, setting the machine, and make sure your test coupon will be in the center of the mandrel, like weld metal comes under the center. It cannot be the great way if you are doing anything side. You can see the bending starts, mandrel coming down, and this is 180-degree bend test. So you can see this is a complete failure, this is a complete fracture. You can see it means this is not ductile. In second one you can see the opening is there, third one you can also see the opening, final one you can see no opening, it means final one is the acceptable one. And in this you need to measure the length, so you can decide whether it is acceptable or reject. So friends, now I'm talking about the soundness, why we do the bend testing to identify the soundness of the weld. So you can see, if we are performing the face bend test, then our target is to identify the defect which is related with face. Like what kind of defect we can identify? We can identify the undercuts, we can identify the lack of sidewall fusion, that will find during face bend test. Now I am talking about the root bend. In root bend test, what you will identify the defect related with root. What are the defect related with root? That is the lack of fusion, lack of penetration. You can identify in transverse root bend testing. Now I am talking about side bend testing, friends. So in side bend testing, you can identify the complete full weld testing, and you can also identify like your weld is good or not. Like if sidewall fusion is there, you can identify in this. If root fusion is there, you can identify this. Any kind of problem in complete weld if there, you can identify in side bend test. So friends, one more thing, like if I'm talking about the specimen origination is also useful for testing weld cladding, where any brittle region close to the fusion line are readily revealed. So friends, now I am coming back to the acceptance criteria. In acceptance criteria, this is the as per ASME section 9 QW163. So as per acceptance criteria, you can see the weld and heat affected zone of a transverse weld bend specimen shall be completely within the bend portion of the specimen after testing. The guided bend specimen shall have no open discontinuity in the weld or heat affected zone exceeding 3 mm. measured in any direction of the convex surface of the specimen after bending. So it means if any indication, if any opening in the after the bend testing is more than 3 mm cannot be acceptable, it is straightforward reject. Open discontinuity occurring on the corner of the specimen during testing shall not be considered unless there is definite evidence that they result from the lack of fusion, slag inclusion, or other international discontinuity for corrosion resistance. Now, friends, I'm going back to the weld overlay cladding portion. So no open discontinuity exceeding 1.5 mm measured in any direction shall be permitted in cladding, especially if more than 1.5 mm come in the cladding portion, you cannot accept it. And second thing, weld interface means your parent metal and clad metal were interfacing at that portion. If 3 more than 3 mm indication is open, more than 3 mm opening is there, you cannot accept that. Below 3 mm you can accept that. So friends, I tried to cover bend testing in quick, and I hope you understand properly, and I tried it also. So friends, if you do like this lecture, please like my channel, and if you not subscribe this channel right till date, you have to subscribe it. This is my request, and please also share to your friends for getting them. Be aware about principles, be aware about technical topic. Thank you so much, friend. Thank you so much.